One Marvel project that's drawing a lot of buzz is Agatha Coven of Chaos, and how this impacts the greater Marvel world, we still don't know. And recently we've gotten a lot of news on this series, including when production will kick off and a massive ensemble cast. Let's dive into all the Agatha updates. Well, Agatha Coven of Chaos is going to be something special for Marvel Studios, and it's going to bring together one heck of a big cast. Let's take a couple minutes to break down this whole cast, who's in it, as well as when production should kick off. Now, before we do all that though, make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and ring the bell for all the updates. We want to be your place for all the Marvel and DC news, but we want to bring it to you transparently, truthfully, and make sure you really know what's going on. Well, for Marvel fans, it's still pretty unknown how Agatha Coven of Chaos will impact the larger multiverse narrative. But there have been multiple rumors that seem to indicate it fits more into Marvel's mystical future. Now, we have multiple updates, including a full cast breakdown, which is a massive headcount, and some recent news on when production will kick off. So let's start off with the production update. Production kickoff dates are pretty informative and do help us kind of understand where the show is likely to be released. We got a new update via Cosmic Circus, and quite honestly, they are pretty rock solid on this kind of info. But to be clear, it's not coming from Marvel, so officially we want to take it with a grain of salt. Now, what the circus is reporting is that production is going to begin on this project in 2 weeks on January the 17th down in Atlanta, Georgia. This early start in 2023 for production can give us a little bit of insight on when the show will actually hit screens. We have heard reports of a late 2023 release, and starting this early does make that seem more likely. We have heard this is 9 episodes, so it could be a long production schedule, so we're going to have to wait and see, but this is something that does give us a solid idea of what to expect from Marvel. And quite honestly, I don't think this show can be pushed too far out, given some of the mystical nature and maybe some of the major characters that appear, but we'll get to that in a second. I am curious though on what you guys think of the production starting so early and if it'll impact this release. Make sure you sound off below. Now, as for the cast, it's, well, massive. So I wanted to dive into who's in the cast and who we are hearing rumors will show up in the show. Now, obviously, Kathryn Hahn is going to return as Agatha. If you remember correctly, WandaVision's ending revealed that Agatha was trapped in Westview along with Wanda. However, given what happened to the Scarlet Witch in Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, her spell trapping Agatha in Westview may have been broken. Now, Hahn is super tight-lipped about this part of the plot, but she does tease the show's development as exactly what she would have hoped and dreamt, so that to me is about as positive of a response as we possibly could have. I enjoyed her as Agatha, maybe minus the costume, so I really do look forward to what she's bringing to the show. Now, we do know Joe Locke is also part of the show, and it's believed he is playing Billy Kaplan, who is Wanda's grown son and Wiccan in the comics. Now, Variety revealed he will be portraying a gay teen with a dark sense of humor, combining that with his similar physical traits to the younger Billy. This has led many people to be pretty sure he is playing Wiccan. Now, there have been some reports he is Nicholas Scratch, Agatha's son, but this has gone unconfirmed, and until the show starts shooting, we probably won't have any ideas on this. Probably the other really big casting addition to the show is Aubrey Plaza. Now, we have confirmed she will be part of the show, but her role is being kept under wraps, but it's reported she's playing one of the villains. Multiple reports seem to indicate that she will be playing the witch Morgan Le Fay, who's leading a coven of witches from New Salem. This would seem like a pretty appropriate role for Plaza, and I do think if she's taking up the role of Le Fay, that would be awesome. We did see Morgan Le Fay in the form of Elizabeth Hurley back in The Runaways, who did a great job, but it appears they might be moving on from that. Now, there's also quite a few other castings from Westview. We know Deborah Jo Rupp will return to the show. That was actually reported yesterday. She played Mrs. Hart in the first season, but it's unclear if her husband, Mr. Hart, played by Fred Mellowmay, will also be returning. That's yet to be confirmed. We also have Emma Caulfield Ford, who played Dottie, who's also returning to the show. And Dottie is a pretty interesting addition because, quite honestly, many of us thought she could be something more, Arcana Jones to be specific, and that never really manifested in the series. Now, as for the rest of the cast, well, there are quite a few names here. We did find out Eric Andre is going to be part of the show, but we have really no idea what part Andre is going to play. What we are hearing is he will be in a single episode, so more than likely he will be used by Agatha as some sort of scapegoat or fall victim to these evil witches moving in on Agatha's ground. Watching Andre killed by magic in the MCU might be great. He is a fan favorite outside of the Marvel Universe, so I'm looking forward to where he fits in. Now, we also have a huge coven of witches that are going to be in the show. Now, the additional members of the coven are reported to be Ollie Ann, Maria Drizza, Sashir Zamata, and Patti LuPone, who is a 3-time Tony winner and a musical background, driving some speculation there could be a pretty interesting follow-up to that Agatha All Along song that did so well with the first series. Now, along with these castings that we've confirmed, there's multiple rumored castings, and these are ones Marvel is keeping under wraps. The first one is Evan Peters, who is rumored to return as Ralph Boner. Now, whether they give him a more expanded role than that, we're going to have to wait and see. There was a ton of speculation he was the original Quicksilver in WandaVision, and that got squashed, so it's pretty curious on where he will show up in the show. There's also been multiple rumors and reports that Sacha Baron Cohen could be part of this series as Mephisto. Given how much Mephisto stuff was going on in the first series and the rumors that were persistently attached to it, adding him to this particular feature would be an awesome idea, and I am totally looking forward to his version of Mephisto. It is reported he will play that character in Iron Heart, so him showing up here once again could be pretty cool, and I could totally see him being attached to this evil coven of witches. Now, the biggest rumor casting that's unconfirmed though is Elizabeth Olsen, and given what happened at the end of Doctor Strange in Multiverse of Madness, that really left her fate unclear. Quite honestly, Agatha's escape, combined with Billy Maximoff returning, could ultimately prompt Wanda to reveal herself during this series and give us some closure to what appeared to be her death in that movie. Whether this is exactly what happens, we'll have to wait and see, but I really do believe that Olsen will be part of the show, just in a very, very small role, more than likely showing up in the finale. Now, like we said, Agatha is set to start filming in just about 2 weeks, giving us that winter 2023-2024 release date on Disney+. We're going to cover this one pretty closely, so I want to make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button so you don't miss any of the news. I'm excited about this show, and I can't wait to see what this particular team brings us once again.